For generations, America has been a country of hard work. Factories, construction sites, family businesses. But every once in a while, you run into a problem. A guy who owes you money. A neighbor who keeps borrowing your tools and never bringing them back. Or that one friend who swears he'll pay you Friday. Every Friday. Well now, you don't need stress. You need solutions. Introducing the Wise Guy Negotiation Kit. The only household product designed to help you handle difficult conversations the old school way. Inside every kit you'll receive the classic conversation table. Perfect for sitting down face to face and reminding people how business works. The favor ledger notebook. Because real professionals never forget who owes what. The serious discussion cigar. Light it up, lean back, and suddenly people start telling the truth. And of course, the deadline reminder baseball bat. Because sometimes people forget their obligations. But wait, there's more. Order today and you'll also receive the emergency alibi generator. Just spin the dial and instantly get classic explanations like, I was at the barber. I was visiting my mother. I never even met that guy. Or the all-time favorite. I don't know nothing about it. Thousands of satisfied customers agree. When someone says they'll pay tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. There's only one system that works. The Wise Guy Negotiation Kit. Available now. Exclusively from Pizzaverse Studios and Palermo Productions. Because sometimes business requires a little old school motivation.
Look, what the fuck you doing in there, you prick?
The Tampa Mafia, Santo Trafficante Jr. and the Cuban Connection, a Pizzaverse Studios documentary, a Palermo Productions original, written by Bambi Palermo, narrated by Vincent DiPrio. Tampa, Florida, a port city along the Gulf Coast, known for its cigar factories, immigrant communities, and the historic streets of Ybor City. But for decades, beneath the surface of this coastal city, one of the most powerful mafia empires in the southern United States quietly operated. Unlike the five families of New York or the Chicago outfit, Tampa's mob remained smaller, more controlled, but no less dangerous. At the center of this empire stood a man whose influence stretched far beyond Florida. A man connected to casinos, international smuggling, and even Cold War intrigue. Santo Trafficante Jr. The origins of the Tampa Mafia. Organized crime in Tampa dates back to the early 20th century. The city's booming cigar industry attracted thousands of immigrants, including Italians, Cubans, and Spaniards. With rapid growth came opportunity. Illegal gambling, loan sharking, smuggling. These rackets took root in neighborhoods like Ybor City. The Tampa Mafia eventually formed as part of the national structure of American organized crime, often referred to as the Trafficante crime family. Santo Trafficante Sr. and the family legacy. The foundation of Tampa's mafia power was built by Santo Trafficante Sr. He established control over gambling and rackets throughout Tampa in the early to mid-20th century. When he died, his son, Santo Trafficante Jr., took over the organization, and under his leadership, the Tampa Mafia would expand far beyond Florida. The Havana Empire. By the 1940s and 1950s, American mafia bosses had turned Havana, Cuba, into a gambling paradise. Luxury casinos, nightclubs, high-stakes gambling. Tampa's Santo Trafficante Jr. became one of the key figures in this operation. He controlled major interests in Havana casinos, including the famous Sans Souci and other establishments tied to organized crime. For years, the Cuban casino industry generated millions of dollars for American mob bosses, and Trafficante stood right in the middle of it. The Cuban Revolution. Everything changed in 1959. When Fidel Castro seized control of Cuba, the new government shut down casinos, seized mob-owned properties, and forced organized crime figures out of the country. Overnight, the mafia lost millions. The Havana Empire collapsed. But Santo Trafficante Jr. didn't disappear. He adapted. The CIA and the mob. During the Cold War, U.S. intelligence agencies explored ways to remove Fidel Castro from power. In a controversial chapter of American history, investigators later revealed that the CIA made contact with mafia figures, including Santo Trafficante Jr. These contacts were part of early plots to assassinate Castro. The idea was simple: use organized crime connections to accomplish what official operations could not. Although these plots ultimately failed, they revealed a shocking truth. At times, organized crime and government interests crossed paths. Power in Florida. After the loss of Cuba, Trafficante shifted his focus back to Florida. The Tampa Mafia maintained control over gambling operations, loan sharking, smuggling routes, and connections to other organized crime families. Trafficante was known as a quiet and calculating boss. He avoided unnecessary attention, rarely spoke publicly, and maintained strong alliances with other mafia leaders. For decades, he remained one of the most respected figures in organized crime.
Hey, you ever tried to dispose of a problem in the Louisiana bayou and suddenly realize you got gators, cops, humidity, and a body that ain't cooperating? Yeah. Happens to the best of us. That's why the professionals trust Bayou Disappear, the official cleanup kit of the New Orleans underworld. Inside every Bayou Disappear kit you get industrial swamp gloves because fingerprints are amateur hour, Cajun-grade lye powder dissolves evidence faster than a crooked politician changes his story, gator attractant bait, guaranteed to bring every hungry reptile in a 3-mile radius. A waterproof alibi card. Just say you were at your aunt's crawfish boil. Boom, the story. Satisfied customer testimonial. Benny the Blade. 5 stars before Bayou Disappear. I had all kinds of problems. And listen, if things get messy, upgrade to the Deluxe Mob Edition. It includes a disposable shovel, a fake fishing license, and a cassette of convincing drunk alibis you can play for the cops. Bayou disappear. Because in New Orleans, some secrets belong to the swamp. Bayou disappear. Available wherever questionable life decisions are sold.
Federal investigations. By the 1960s and 1970s, federal authorities intensified their fight against organized crime. The FBI began targeting mafia families across the country. New laws like the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act allowed prosecutors to build larger cases against criminal organizations. Trafficante was investigated multiple times. But unlike many mob bosses, he avoided long prison sentences. His cautious approach allowed him to maintain power longer than many of his contemporaries. The Tampa Mafia may not have been as large as New York or Chicago, but under Santo Trafficante Jr., it became one of the most influential crime families in the country. From the streets of Tampa, to the casinos of Havana, to the shadows of Cold War politics, Trafficante built an empire that reached far beyond Florida. A reminder that organized crime in America was never confined to one city. Sometimes, it crossed oceans. The story of the Tampa Mafia is one of adaptation. When empires fell, new opportunities emerged. When power shifted, the smartest operators survived. And Santo Trafficante Jr. was one of the smartest. A man who operated in silence, but left a legacy that still echoes through the history of organized crime. Thank you for watching this Pizzaverse Studios documentary. For more deep dives into organized crime, true crime history, and cinematic mob stories, follow Pizzaverse Studios and Palermo Productions. Written by Bambi Palermo. Narrated by Vincent DiPrio. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Sungrown's Executive Order Olive Oil. One drizzle and the whole table listens. He ain't just running the Pizzaverse, he's feeding it. Straight from the president's private stash comes Sungrown's Executive Order Olive Oil. Cold-pressed, first cut, and slicker than a backroom deal in City Hall. Features: presidential grade, pressed from olives grown under 24/7 protection contracts. Flavor with power, makes any dish taste like a vote in your favor. Cabinet approved. Every capo in the room swears by it, or else. Frank Pecoraro. I dipped bread in it, and suddenly I was running a casino in Vegas. Admiral Impeach. Too smooth. I used it to grease submarine gears and salad greens. Worked perfect both ways. Lopez. Confiscated a bottle once. Had to return it. Couldn't stop cooking with it. Special offer. Order now, and Sungrown throws in a presidential breadstick pen. Sign laws, then dip them in the sauce. Sungrown's Executive Order Olive Oil. Taste the power, respect the office. The Cuban Casino Empire. When the Mafia ran Havana. Official documentary trailer. A Pizzaverse Studios documentary. A Palermo Productions original. Written by Bambi Palermo. Narrated by Vincent DiPrio. Havana, Cuba. The 1950s. a tropical paradise just 90 miles off the coast of the United States. Luxury hotels, high-stakes casinos, nightclubs filled with music, money, and power. But behind the glamour of Havana's golden age stood the American Mafia. Mob bosses from across the United States poured millions of dollars into Cuba's casino industry. Men like Meyer Lansky, the financial mastermind who helped turn Havana into a gambling empire, and Santo Trafficante Jr., who controlled key casinos and operations across the island. Together, they built a system that generated enormous wealth. Casinos like the Tropicana, the Riviera, and the Sans Souci became playgrounds for celebrities, politicians, and high rollers. Money flowed freely, and the Mafia's influence reached deep into the Cuban government under dictator Fulgencio Batista. But empires built on power and corruption rarely last forever. In 1959, a revolution changed everything. Led by Fidel Castro, a new government seized control of the country. Casinos were shut down. Mob-owned properties were seized. And the American Mafia was forced out of Cuba almost overnight. Millions of dollars vanished. And one of the most powerful criminal empires in history collapsed in an instant. The Cuban casino empire. When the Mafia ran Havana. A Pizzaverse Studios documentary. A Palermo Productions original. Written by Bambi Palermo. Narrated by Vincent DiPrio. Coming soon.
All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. Welcome to the room of people who have rooms of people that they love one day locked away. Just because we check the guns at the door doesn't mean our brains will change from hand grenades. You love another psychopath sitting next to you. You love another murderer sitting next to you. You think I'd get here sitting next to you. But after all I've said, please don't forget. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. We don't deal with outsiders very well. They say newcomers have a certain smell. Yeah, trust issues not to mention. They say they can smell your intentions. You laughing on the freak show sitting next to you. You laugh some weird people sitting next to you. You think how did I get here sitting next to you. But after all I've said, please don't forget. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. All my friends wait for them to ask you who you know. Please all my friends just to stay away.